back to Homemaking with Mima. If you're new here, my name is Wendy, and today's video, I'm going to be gathering some items so that I can get some freezer meals done for the fall/winter, and I'll bring you along with me. So it feels like I was just in here doing the same thing, but I wanted to try to eat down on the freezer meals that we have. So yes, it does. We're repetitive here. So I'm going to get all this out, see what I can do to get some ideas for some more freezer meals. Now we have our regular ones. I'll shut this while I'm talking. We eat tater tot hot dish. That's like a regular around here. So I will be doing that. We also do either like a goulash noodle base or a homemade hamburger helper. So I will be doing either one or the other. I haven't quite decided yet. I do know I have these are those like medium shells like I have upstairs as well that I'm trying to use up, that I think I just bought by mistake. They don't even say medium. These are, no, I want to say I thought I was getting the little ones for like a salad, and they're not. They're like a medium shell. Now I have to use them because I opened them, but I was planning on it anyway. So I'm going to put that in a container. So let me get everything out and I want to try to use up some of the things that I do already have existing in here. All right, I went up and I got myself some coffee. Hopefully I remember that it's there because I tend to forget. Okay. So I need to, this is all sourdough ends of sourdough bread. I need to break all that down, make some breadcrumbs. I'm going to make some homemade pizza with these. All right, here. I'm seeing what I got. So there's some chicken broth here, and I do have some meat that I'm going to make. I'm going to make a huge thing of chicken noodle soup. So that's one idea. This won't take long to get together. So that I'm not worried about. I need sourdough bread upstairs, so I'm going to bring this upstairs as well. That basket's full. I have some sandwich meat, just turkey, so I can make some sandwiches. And there's a little bit of cheese upstairs there. I think I'll use this one. These are some, like a Kaiser type roll. So I'll bring that upstairs as well, along with that. Get that out of the refrigerator. So we have been eating now. This is all that I have left for taco meat. So I will be making taco meat in the next couple days, and I'm going to be inserting it in here. I'm not going to bring you along for that. Totally, because I've done that before. So we've done good. That's all I've got left in that container. I am not going to make any meatloaf just yet. I do have some containers for meatloaf. There's a little bit of cheese in here I can throw into a hot dish. This is that yellow squash that I was going to do lasagna with. Not going to do that quite yet. I want to use up these shells here first. So, and I have this spaghetti with meat sauce. I'm thinking maybe a goulash or a spaghetti shell bake. That's what I'm thinking with that. I'm gonna need some cheese. So I have these two cheeses here. I might as well throw these in here as well. Those get brought up. Then I can wash that. broccoli is still good, not worried about it. Here's some beef chunks. Mashed potatoes. Beef chunks aren't that old. These are the oldest mashed potatoes, and this is what we've got left for freezer meals from before. We've been doing really good at eating them. I have the Salisbury steak. I have a thing of kebab meat, which my grill has, I won't even go down that road. Anyway, I cooked one of the kebab meats in the crock pot, and I'll probably just do that with this as well. Just get it all tender, and we can either just eat it as the meat alongside something else along a side, or put it over noodles or mashed potatoes. I think, yeah, this is like mouth-watering kebab. I'm thinking we'll just eat that alongside something. And I have one meatloaf. That's why I don't want to make any meatloaf yet. So I have mashed potatoes here that we can eat with either the meatloaf or the Salisbury steak. All right, let me get all this back in, and we'll go over a little bit more of what I want to do here. So here's my idea of what I'm going to do for some future freezer meals here for the fall and the winter. I'm going to use up these medium shells. I'm going to use a can of home canned hamburger that I have. It's the only one I have left from 2023. I have some of the spaghetti sauce, some of that extra cheese from when I grate my own cheese. I'm just going to throw that in there with it. This was extra spaghetti with meat sauce already cooked. So everything here will come together real well. I'm going to make some sandwiches, but that isn't going to last long. Usually take these for lunches, so I'm not going to include this as far as a freezer meal. And tater tot hot dish. That's the two. These are the two that I'm going to take on for right now. I am going to be cooking up extra meat for taco meat, like I had said. And also I'm going to be cooking up some breakfast sausage as well, just to have in the freezer so that we can turn to it for like sausage gravy on toast, or if we want to make an egg bake. I was going to dig through here too and pull out like maybe some chicken to make a chicken hot dish. I've decided I'm just going to focus on what I've already pulled out for myself for right now. That I'm going to do that over a few days here. I've been taking on too much all at one time, and it seems to be affecting me. I'm on this weight loss, exercise and weight loss journey, and it's affecting that. I'm taking too much on at one time. So I'm cutting back and just spreading things out. Not cutting back totally, I'm just spreading things out amongst days. My goal is to fill this shelf right here. Those items right there need to get put away and moved, and I want to fill that shelf there with some freezer meals. And so that's going to be my first goal. And then I'll go from there. Instead of just taking on way too much, I'm just going to take on a little bit at a time. So I am slowly getting things done for my freezer for freezer meals. Yesterday I did a 5-pound bag of russet potatoes, turned them into my freezer mashed potatoes. Today I'm going to cook up these 2 pork sausage chubs and get those in the freezer so that we can have like sausage gravy if I want to make that, or we can take the pre-cooked sausage and put it into like an egg bake or something. So that is what I've been slowly doing. I've taken on just so much that I thought, okay, I'm just going to slowly do this and bring you along with me. So they're not all the same day, but at least it's getting done and I'm letting you know what I'm doing. So while I'm cooking this pork sausage for myself, I'm also defrosting some hamburger chubs. I need to cook up I'm going to cook all of this up. And I'm going to turn some into taco meat and freeze that. And then I'm also going to turn the rest of it into some freezer meals. And haven't quite decided what I'm going to make yet, but I will bring you along when I do decide. So a few days ago, I took out some hamburger chubs. Yesterday, I'm doing this amongst a few days spread out here, so it's not so stressful on me. I cooked up some taco meat the other day, but when I took out the meat, I took out extra chubs. So 2 of the chubs are going to go for tater tot hot dish, and the other 2 are going to go for another different type of hot dish. And I'm assuming maybe more of the homemade hamburger helper is what I'm thinking. So 2 of them are going to go for tater tot hot dish, and 2 are going to go for a homemade hamburger helper. I am going to be seasoning the meat. You're going to see me put in some salt, Lawry's seasoning salt, onion powder, garlic powder, and I still have some of this white ground pepper to use. I actually have quite a bit of it to use. So I'm going to be using that as well. And I'm going to season the meat. I'm going to keep the meat separate in 2 different pans so that I know that, okay, this one is, even though it's going to be all the same, actually I don't have a bigger pan and I don't want to take my roaster out to do this. If I had like 8 chubs, then I would take my big roaster out to cook this, but I'm going to do this on the stovetop. All right, so I'm going to do this. So here I have the burger going to be cooling off before I put it in the refrigerator. And I actually make the freezer meals either tomorrow or the next day. My next project was I dug out all these butt parts of the sourdough bread that we've eaten. And I'm going to be making breadcrumbs out of it. So I took out my old chopper here and we'll get that done. So I'm going to dry out these breadcrumbs. And I don't do it that often, so I just kind of eyeball it for the time. I don't have it on high, I have it on 225. And I'm gonna go in and stir it. I'm gonna say 20 minutes. Go in and stir it, and then we'll go from there. All right, I got the breadcrumbs are done. I cooked them for a total of 50 minutes. I went in and I stirred them periodically. And now I've got them sitting on the table. I'm gonna let them finish cooling off. I'm gonna package them up, just put them in a Ziploc bag, and I'm gonna put them in the freezer. I'm gonna be making my freezer meals today. I'm going to be doing tater tot hot dish and homemade hamburger helper, and I've made that in the past before for you. I usually use what I have on hand. I usually don't go out and buy anything special. I do have a pantry downstairs, so I do keep in stock like cream of mushroom soup, that sort of thing. And I use the spices that I have on hand, and I usually have the same spices all the time. So I'm just gonna bring you along for that. It's the tater tot hot dish and homemade hamburger helper is what I'm gonna be doing first. I do have water going here for the shell noodles and for elbow macaroni. The elbow macaroni I'm gonna use for the homemade hamburger helper. The shell noodles, I was going to make like a spaghetti, like a goulash or a spaghetti hot dish, and I decided, you know what? I had some chicken I wanted to intermingle some chicken. We eat so much beef around here, and I did have some chicken legs in the one of the freezers, so I cooked that up, deboned it, got the meat off. So I'm going to use these shells up in a chicken hot dish. I'm using that pre-cooked hamburger that I had done up. And I'm going to guess. So I'm going to guess like 2 cups of meat, maybe 2.5 cups of meat per casserole. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'll pull from it if I need it. And then I can just make something different with this. It's a little too stiff for me. So I'm going to use up the rest of this chicken bouillon, mix it with water, and I'm going to use that so that it loosens this up some. So it's a little bit more, not so much cream. Well, it'll be creamier, but it's not cream that I'm putting in it. So these definitely needed to be used up. This one has so much ice in there. So I'm glad I'm getting this done today, because they would have turned freezer burned. All right, I got my other bag open here. I might even have enough for one more tater tot hot dish. Pretty sure I do. I took out this smaller one. This will be exactly one meal for my husband and I. So that works out good. Whatever tater tots I have left over, if there is any left over, I'll just continue putting them on the hot dishes. I have left for the hamburger. I have the cooked hamburger with nothing in it other than, I might have put onions in it. I don't remember. This is tater tot hot dish filling, or I could use it as a hamburger helper filling. I labeled it as tater tot filling, probably because that's what it's going to go for. But I can use it as homemade hamburger helper as well. Now I'm going to get all of that brought in to the freezer downstairs, and then I'm going to start on my chicken hot dish. Now I'm going to do the chicken hot dish, and I'm going to use those medium noodles. We'll see how many I use. I cooked up a whole bunch of chicken legs that I had in my chest freezer. I don't even know how many there were, but it was enough to fill this container completely. And then I just made, I made some beef broth out of the rest of it to go with chicken noodle soup, or I can just freeze it, or if I get enough eventually, I can can that stock as well, or the beef broth. All right, so for this, we're gonna use cream of chicken, cream of celery, salt, pepper, I gotta get some more pepper, parsley, onion powder, garlic powder, a little bit of poultry seasoning. I'm just gonna do it with my heart, cook with my heart. The measurements on either there are going to be a teaspoon or a half a teaspoon or a quarter teaspoon. More than likely half a teaspoon for most of the seasonings. And then I am going to, if it's too thick, I do have this beef broth or chicken broth that I want to use up. It was stuff I pulled out of my cupboard over a month ago to use up, kind of like my parsley here. I still just have just a little bit left. So I'm going to get this going. And I think I've done a chicken casserole, chicken hot dish before, but if not, I just use what I have on hand. People, don't go out and buy anything special. If you've got something at home, like I have the cream of chicken, I had 1 can of cream of celery, so I'm going to use that up. The chicken, and then I always put either sour cream, top the tater, which I'm going to put a little bit of both into this as well. Makes it a little creamier, makes it a little tangier. The top the tater, that's a regular potato chip dip, but this needs to get used up, so I just throw it into hot dishes, or when I make homemade mashed potatoes, works perfect because it's sour cream, chive, and onion. That's all that's in there. And then I'm going to also put some cheese in it, and I'll grab that as well. not really organized right now. Kind of kerfuffled. I have some more Monterey Jack. I have another bag. I'm just going to take this one out for right now. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this all together and we'll see what I can get out of it. I have enough for 2 good sized casseroles for our family, and I have this much of those medium shell noodles left, so I will be doing something with them. I might actually do what I had planned on and use up and make like a spaghetti hot dish, or like a we'll use some spaghetti sauce with some meat with it. And we'll make a hot dish with that. And then I will have those medium noodles used up because they were purchased by mistake. And now it's going to make me feel good. I'll have them into casseroles and we'll be eating them up through the fall and winter. It is yet another day. Like I said, I've been stretching this out. I've been trying to not put too much on my plate. So I have these leftover noodles. I cooked up that whole box and then that partial one that I had there. I went back downstairs and got this out of the freezer. This was that cooked up beef with nothing in it. So we're gonna throw that in there. We're going to make yet another hot dish. I know we eat a lot of hot dishes around here, but you know what? It's not all that we eat, but it is nice to have them ready in the freezer to pull when it is a busy night, or you're just darn exhausted from the day that you had. So, not making up any excuses. We do like our casseroles, and yes, we're a little overweight and we're showing it. Okay, so there was some spaghetti sauce with meat that I had downstairs that was left over from a meal. I thought that out because why not? Using it up. There was some tomato sauce downstairs that I didn't use. It's just canned tomato sauce. I am throwing that in there. I'm using up a lot of stuff here. Now, granted, I'll probably end up making some more stuff too. You know, you just... When you clean stuff out, you always tend to fill it back up again. So I just grabbed a can of the Hunt's spaghetti sauce. This is our favorite kind of sauce. I know it's a little controversial, but we like it. I'm going to put the whole thing in here. I may not use all of these noodles. We will see. Quite frankly, this is just spaghetti meat sauce and a different shaped noodle. That's all it's going to be. with cheese. I'm going to put cheese on top. So we'll start with maybe half of what was left in there. And we'll get these coated real good. I might end up using it all. Looks like that's coated real well. Yep, I am just gonna throw the rest in there. Why not? I just hope I have enough baking dishes. I buy glass baking dishes, different sizes. I kind of got away from the 9x13s because our family has shrunk. And I donated most of those. I had a lot of those. And then I've been purchasing smaller baking dishes. Different sizes. And I didn't care if they had a lid or not. For freezer meals, just for my husband and I and our daughter as well. All right, let me get all this cleaned up and then I'll see what I've got for baking dishes and we'll get it put in containers and down in the freezer. So here is what it looks like. It is just the medium shell noodles and tomato sauce, spaghetti sauce, cooked up meat. That's it. It's just like a spaghetti but with a different noodle. And I think I'm going to label it just a goulash. That's what I'm going to label it. Even though it's really not your typical goulash, I'm going to label it goulash just for easy labeling for myself. So I have all of what I've done for freezer meals for my family for this fall and winter so far. Here's the 3 containers of mashed potatoes that I had made. I've got 3 things of taco meat. We will burn through that really quick. That's I'll end up making more of that. Here's some cooked breakfast sausage so we could have sausage gravy over toast or make an egg bake with it. This is leftover tater tot filling because I made 3 containers of tater tot hot dish. And this is the leftover. I have 2 chicken hot dishes. And then I have 1 hamburger hot dish, like homemade hamburger helper. And then I had leftover meat. And I cooked up those shell noodles. So what I did was I made, it's more just like a spaghetti sauce with meat and those medium shell noodles. But I'm just calling it goulash. So I've got 3 of those. So I've got 6, 7, 8, 9 hot dishes. Which will be, some of them will be more than 1 meal. It'll be leftovers as well. I have 3 meals of taco meat here. I have 3 meals of breakfast sausage. And we sometimes eat breakfast for supper. So it's not like it's going to get eaten just for breakfast. And mashed potatoes to go with, more than likely, a meatloaf. I have not made any meatloaf yet. It is something that I'm going to be doing. And I have to also make up the chicken noodle soup. So, but I just thought I'd end this video. I've drug it out long enough. All right, I am going to get all this back into the freezer and I'll bring you right back. Okay, so here is the inside of the freezer. I've got freezer meals down here. There's 2, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The smaller ones are right here. Those are more just for my husband and I, or if it's just my daughter and I. 2 more freezer meals here. I have some of the mashed potatoes there. Mashed potatoes, leftover tater tot hot dish. This is some summer sausage I cut down. That's in no hurry to be eaten. I have the taco meat and the breakfast sausage right there. And this container here is things that need to get eaten up. And as you can see, there's the older meatloaf and mashed potatoes that will probably be eaten maybe later this week. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Just to go over real quickly, here's our freezer corn. We have 1 left of 2024. Here is some of my cabbage soup. These are extra hamburger chubs and bacon and breakfast sausages, so we don't have to get into the chest freezer. This is where I put all my bread goods. I do have cookie dough down here right now. I have oatmeal cookie dough. My daughter's 2 rows right here. I did shred some cheddar cheese and some mozzarella cheese, so I have those in the door. And so yeah, everything's looking really good. I do need to stock up like on butter and that, but I was just focusing on trying to get these freezer meals done so that we have something to turn to for this fall, later fall and into the winter time. All right, that's going to wrap this video up. I want to thank you so much for joining me today and my venture and getting my freezer filled with some freezer meals for the fall and winter months to come ahead of time. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and I want you folks to make it a really great day.